The complete evolution of Iron Man suits. In 2008, Tony Stark was captured by the terrorist group called the Ten Rings in Afghanistan. They wanted him to build his powerful Jericho missiles for them. But Tony had a different plan. With the help of another prisoner named Ho Yinsen, Tony secretly built his very first Iron Man armor, using nothing but scrap metal, wires, and broken machine parts. This armor became known as the Mark I. The Mark I looked rough and heavy, but it was extremely dangerous. It had flamethrowers in the hands, a small rocket launcher on the shoulder, and rocket boosters in the boots that allowed Tony to fly for a short time. Using this suit, Tony fought his way out of captivity and escaped. Later, Tony's old business partner Obadiah Stane found the remains of the Mark I and used its design to build his own giant suit called the Ironmonger Mark II. After Tony returned home, he decided to improve his design. He built a new suit called the Mark II. This version was sleeker, faster, and much more advanced. It also introduced Tony's AI assistant Jarvis, who helped control the suit. However, the Mark II had a big problem. When Tony flew too high into the sky, the suit started to freeze because of the cold temperature. The ice caused the armor to stop working, and Tony nearly crashed. Because of this problem, Tony stopped using the Mark II. Later, his best friend James Rhodes took the armor. With help from Justin Hammer and the US military, it was upgraded and turned into the first War Machine armor, Mark III. The Mark III was the suit where Iron Man truly became the hero we know. This armor introduced the iconic red and gold colors. The gold was made from a special titanium gold alloy that fixed the freezing problem. Now the suit could fly higher, shoot better weapons, and fight more reliably. Tony used the Mark III during his final battle against Obadiah Stane in Los Angeles. Even though Tony won, the suit was badly damaged during the fight. Mark V. Later, Tony created the Mark V, one of his most unique suits. This armor could fold into a small briefcase. Tony used it during the Monaco Grand Prix when the villain Ivan Vanko suddenly attacked him. Because the suit had to fit inside a briefcase, it was weaker than his other armors, but it was very fast to deploy, which saved Tony's life. Mark VI. Next came the Mark VI. This suit was built to work with Tony's new triangular arc reactor in his chest. It also introduced powerful laser weapons on the wrists. However, the armor had one small issue. It was harder for Tony to exit quickly, which sometimes caused problems during battle. Mark VII. The Mark VII was a huge step forward. During the Battle of New York, Loki threw Tony out of a tall building. Tony activated the Mark VII while falling, and the armor flew to him and assembled itself around his body in midair. This became Tony's main suit during the battle. At one point, he even destroyed a giant alien Leviathan by himself. But the suit wasn't designed for deep space. When Tony carried a nuclear missile through the wormhole, the armor lost power and he nearly died when he fell back to Earth. This terrifying moment caused Tony to develop serious anxiety and fear about future threats. The Iron Legion. After this experience, Tony became obsessed with preparing for the next danger. He started building dozens of new suits. Together, these armors were called the Iron Legion, ranging from Mark VIII to Mark 41. Many of these suits were built for very specific purposes. Some examples include Mark 15, Sneaky, a stealth suit that could hide from radar. Mark 16, Nightclub, another stealth armor that could turn completely black. Mark 17, Heartbreaker, a heavy combat suit with massive weapons. Mark 25, Striker, a construction armor with giant jackhammer arms. Mark 34, Southpaw, a rescue suit designed for natural disasters. Mark 37, Hammerhead, a suit made for underwater missions. Mark 38, Igor, the strongest suit of the Iron Legion built for lifting extremely heavy objects. Mark 39, Gemini, Tony's first armor designed for space travel. Mark 40, Shotgun, one of his fastest suits, capable of Mach 5 speeds. Mark 41, Bones, a unique suit that could separate into flying pieces and assemble around Tony. Mark 42. The Mark 42, also called Prodigal Son, became Tony's main armor in Iron Man 3. Its biggest feature was that the armor pieces could fly to Tony and attach themselves automatically. Sometimes the suit would even assemble around other people, which Tony used to save Pepper Potts. In the final battle, Tony destroyed the suit while defeating Aldrich Killian. Mark 43 and 45. The Mark 43 appeared at the beginning of Avengers: Age of Ultron. It was very similar to the Mark 42, but could also be controlled remotely by Jarvis. Later, Tony created the Mark 45, which introduced his new AI assistant Friday. Tony used this armor during the Battle of Sokovia to defeat Ultron. Hulkbuster, Mark 44. One of Tony's most famous suits is the Mark 44, also called the Hulkbuster. Tony built it together with Bruce Banner in case the Hulk ever lost control. This armor was huge. incredibly strong, and built to fight the Hulk directly. During their fight in Johannesburg, the Hulkbuster used special tools like sleeping gas and powerful punches to slow Hulk down. It could even repair itself during battle using the Veronica satellite, which dropped replacement armor parts from space. Mark 46 and 47, Tony later built the Mark 46, which he used in Captain America: Civil War. This suit had extra arc reactors and stronger power systems, but it was destroyed during Tony's intense fight with Captain America and Winter Soldier. The Mark 47 appeared in Spider-Man: Homecoming and could be controlled remotely while Tony stayed somewhere else. Hulkbuster 2.0, Mark 48. During the battle in Wakanda, Bruce Banner wore the Mark 48, also called Hulkbuster 2.0. Even though Banner wasn't very experienced using it, he still managed to defeat Cull Obsidian. Rescue Armor, Mark 49. Tony also built a special suit for Pepper called the Rescue Armor. Pepper used this armor during the final battle of Avengers Endgame to fight alongside Tony. Mark 50, Nanotech suit. The Mark 50 changed everything. For the first time, Tony used nanotechnology. Tiny machines inside the suit could create weapons instantly, repair damage, and even form shields or blades during combat. Tony used this suit to fight Thanos on Titan. Mark 85, the final armor. Finally, Tony created the Mark 85, the most advanced Iron Man suit ever built. It improved everything from the Mark 50 and was strong enough to hold the Infinity Stones in its gauntlet. In the final battle of Endgame, Tony used this armor to perform the ultimate sacrifice. He snapped his fingers, destroyed Thanos and his army, and saved the entire universe. Iron Man started with a rough suit made of scrap metal. But over time, Tony Stark created dozens of incredible armors, each one smarter, stronger, and more advanced than the last. And in the end, those inventions helped save the universe. If you enjoyed this video, tell us in the comments which Iron Man suit is your favorite, and don't forget to like the video.